Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neeti Goyal, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Indira Gandhi National College, Ladwa, District, Kurukshetra. Today we are going to discuss Strategic International Human Resource Management. After completing this module, the students will be able to know what strategy is, examine the linkages between organizational strategy and human resource management strategy, differentiate between traditional human resource management and strategic human resource management, know strategic human resource management advantages and limitations, know the process of strategic human resource management and how to formulate effective global human resource strategy. Human resources are the most important resource of an organization. As the competition is intensifying globally, the importance of human resources is increasingly being realized. Human resources are the most important means through which organizational goals can be realized. So, managing human resources is utmost important. Strategic human resource management takes a step ahead of human resource management. When human resource management practices are linked with overall business strategy, it is called strategic human resource management. It assists business in gaining competitive advantage over the others. International strategic human resource management, also known as SHRM, is a step ahead of strategic human resource management. Strategic international human resource management is the strategic human resource management in the multi-domestic firm where human resource management practices are differentiated across countries as per their environment and culture, integrating the entire organization. Strategy. The word strategy has been derived from Greek word strategos for a general who organizes, leads and directs his forces to the most advantageous position. In management world, strategy refers to the plan of action through which top management leads the organization to achieve its goals and purpose and attain a competitive edge. The main emphasis of strategy is to achieve competitive advantage by making use of its unique capabilities to achieve its objectives. Strategy are broad statements of action, decisions and policies that guide a group towards the goals. Strategies are clear, specific, measurable and obtainable. Strategic management. Strategic management is concerned with deciding on strategy and planning how that strategy is put into effect. According to Samuel C. Serto and J. Paul Peter, strategic management is a continuous interactive cross-functional process aimed at keeping an organization as a whole appropriately matched to its environment. Strategic management is not the same for global company and a domestic company. Their strategies would distinctively differ from each other due to its difference and peculiarities. Strategic human resource management. Human resource management deals with all aspects of business that affects employees such as recruitment, selection, compensation, retrenchment, training and administration. When management of human resources is integrated into the business strategy, it is called strategic human resource management. Thus, by integrating human resource management practices into strategic plans, human resource management perspective is incorporated into the decision making. Strategic human resource management is all about achieving the organization's intentions and goals through people. Strategic human resource management is the proactive management of people. Strategic human resource management is designed to help companies best meet the needs of their employees so that company goals are achieved effectively. This can affect the way things are done, improving everything from hiring practices and employee training programs to assessment techniques and disciplines. It is based on three propositions. First, human capital is a major source of competitive advantage. Second, strategic plans are implemented through people. And third, a systematic approach should be adopted to define where the organization wants to go and how it should get there by taking human perspective along with it. When the human resource management practices are integrated into the business strategy, it leads to efficient management of human resources, and when the human resources are managed effectively, it results into the improvement in organization's overall performance. It also helps organization achieve competitive advantage by creating unique HRM systems that cannot be imitated by others. For this, HR departments should adopt a future-oriented approach, and HR strategies continuously form an integral part of the overall business. The value which human resources carry for the business has increasingly been realized. It is the quality of human resources who can enable the organization to achieve competitive advantage. Therefore, strategic human resource management practices which link HR practices to the overall business strategy carry special significance now. In domestic organization, environmental and the cultural factors are almost similar in all the locations of the same nation, but these factors change drastically as the firm move across different countries. Each nation has its own unique culture, which may be somewhat similar or totally different from the other nation's culture. So, the domestic HR policies and practices cannot be as such transferred to the international setting. As organizations move to different nations, the complexity of working in different environments and cultures increases. When strategic human resource management is practiced in a multi-domestic firm, it is called strategic international human resource management. Under strategic international human resource management, HRM practices are differentiated across nations as per their environment, still integrating the entire organization with a uniform yet differentiated policy. Schooler, Dowling and D. Theory defines strategic international human resource management as human resource management issues, functions and policies and practices that result from the strategic activities of multinational enterprises and that impact the international concerns and goals of those enterprises. Strategic international human resource management functions are the time, energy and financial resources that are devoted to the HR function within the organization. Differences between traditional HRM and strategic HRM. The main points of difference between the traditional and strategic human resource management are: human resource management activities focus on the development of potential human resources and the area of concentration is limited within the HR department. All these HRM activities do not focus on organizational philosophy. They focus on short term. Similarly, strategic human resource management have also all these activities, but all these activities are linked with the organization's philosophy or existence. Strategic human resource management activities focus on long-term aspects. HRM involves recruitment, selection, training and development, compensation, etc. of personnel in the organization, whereas strategic human resource management is a branch of HRM. HRM activities pursue only short-term goals, while strategic HRM pursues long-term goals. Instead of focusing on internal human resource issues, the focus is on addressing and solving problems that affect people management programs in the long run and often globally. Therefore, the primary goal of strategic human resources is to increase employee productivity by focusing on business obstacles that occur outside of human resources. HRM focuses mainly on employee relations. Strategic HRM focuses on partnerships with internal and external customers. Under HRM, there are no specific rules for recruitment, selection, training, etc. But under strategic human resource management, there are specific rules specified for specific functions. Under HRM, there are no separate people for different activities, whereas in strategic HRM, there are specialists to handle different HR functions of recruitment, training and performance appraisal, etc. So, the main difference between the traditional HRM and strategic HRM is strategic human resource management links with organizational objectives and traditional HRM does not link with organizational objectives directly. For example, if a company wants to increase its market shares and HR activities are designed in such a way that it aims at increasing the market share, it is strategic HRM. If all HRM activities are meant to fulfill the organizational human resource needs only, then their policy is traditional HRM. Strategic human resource management advantages. The following benefits are derived when HRM is integrated into the strategy of business organization. It helps in achieving competitive advantage through managing human resources. It provides a large number of ways for solving complex organizational problems. It takes into account the interest of every stakeholder, particularly employees and management, by ensuring that the organization has the skilled, committed and well-motivated employees. It helps in generating strategic capability. It provides direction in a dynamic environment to meet the needs of both the organization as well as employees by development and implementation of HR policies and programs. Helps in development of distinctive organizational and human capabilities. Facilitates knowledge management and management of change. Identifies and analyze external opportunities and threats that may be crucial for the company's success. It helps in successful implementation of corporate strategy by providing a vision for the future. Human resources are given due consideration in achieving goals and implementation. Overall, it deals with all people issues that affect or are affected by the strategic plans of the organization. It ensures that people development issues are addressed systematically. It provides long-term focus to human resource management. Meets the customer's expectations effectively. Recruit, retain and motivate, develop and retain highly competent people. Barriers to strategic human resource management. Various barriers and challenges to influence HR practices and processes within an international context, mostly related to socio-economic, political and technological aspects. Some major barriers are summarized as follows. Workforce diversity. The workforce diversity in terms of culture, gender, ethics makes the management of workforce complex. Each country has different culture, ethics, values and perceptions. The workforce diversity increase with each foreign market, and with increase in diversity the complexity of workforce management increases. Employment legislation. Each country has its own employment laws, policies and practices. A company has to abide by the laws of each country in which it operates, which adds to the complexity. Lack of flexibility. International environment is dynamic. An organization must keep its IHRM systems flexible to adapt to the changes in environment. Limitation of resources. Sophisticated international human resource management systems are needed to work in diverse markets. HR managers responsible for the development and implementation of such systems should be equipped with the necessary staff and resources and should be integrated in the organizational strategic decision-making process. Limitation of resources and improper integration leads to difficulties. Improper assessment of external environment. Faulty or unrealistic plans due to poor assessment of external environment leads to failure of strategic process. Resistance from the lower level employees. Lack of commitment of the top level management team and fear to take strategic steps. Fear of blame game in case of failures, because of which employees hesitate assuming responsibility. Limitation of resources. Improper assessment of external environment, resistance from lower level employees, conflicts over authority, resistance from labor unions making it difficult. The level of integration of HRM into the corporate strategy can be evaluated by a number of criteria. These include representation of specialist people managers on the board, existence of written strategy on people management in the form of mission statement, guidelines, consultation with specialists in the development of corporate strategy, translation of the human management strategy into programs, participative management process and committee meetings, HR audits. International human resource strategies and stages of internationalization. The various human resource strategies which should be kept in mind during different stages of internationalization have been discussed below. The domestic stage is a stage where a company goes international by exporting goods abroad to seek new markets. At this stage, no such HR strategy is adopted. The exporting activities can be managed by a separate export department. The multi-domestic stage. This is the stage where new foreign markets are developed by selling to foreign nationals, and marketing mix for the home market is extended to the foreign market. The HR approach adopted at this stage is the adaptive SHRM approach. Under adaptive approach, such HRM systems are developed for each foreign subsidiary that are consistent with the local economic, political and legal environment of the host country. The multinational stage. At this stage, the standardized products and services are produced around the world to gain efficiency. Exportive IHRM approach is followed, under which HRM systems are transferred from home country to foreign subsidiaries without modifying them according to the local environment. The global stage. It is the stage where production is done in the country where the cost of production is least. A company at the global stage may follow an integrative or adaptive IHRM approach. Integrative International Human Resource Management approach. Under integrative IHRM approach, home country HR practices are combined with host country practices and geocentric staffing policy is followed, where the best talent from all over the world is employed irrespective of their nationality. Adaptive IHRM approach. Under adaptive IHRM approach, such systems that are consistent with local, economic, political and legal environment of the host country are adopted. Strategic human resource management process. The figure depicted here shows the strategic human resource management process. The first step in the process is scanning the environment. Second is developing the corporate strategy. Third, identifying HRM strategy. Fourth is implementing the strategy, and fifth, monitor and evaluation, and this becomes a circular process. The explanation of the process has been presented here. Scanning the environment. The process of SHRM begins with scanning the environment in which the organization operates. It includes scanning both internal and external environment, and talking about international firm, it includes scanning the environment of all the countries in which its subsidiaries operate. The external environment includes the political, legal, technological, economic, social and cultural environment. The internal factor includes the organizational culture, hierarchy, business systems and processes, management resources, industrial relations, etc. Formulation of corporate level strategies. After scanning the environment, the next step is to formulate the strategy for the corporate. Before formulating the business strategy, the vision, mission, policies of the organization are defined. Vision is the ultimate goal of the organization. It describes why the organization exists. It describes what it would like to become in the future. For example, an organization's vision could be to become the world's best supplier in cosmetics. Mission describes how to accomplish the vision of the organization. Mission statement distinguishes one organization from the other similar organizations. It should include a summary of core competencies and competitive differentiation. For example, we supply the best cosmetics with no chemicals in order to deliver superior value to our customers. Mission statement should be very clear and straightforward. Policies are the course of action adopted by an organization. These are the general statements which guide actions. After that, the strategies are established. Strategies for global corporations are different from that of domestic companies. Strategies can be formulated and classified as corporate level strategies and business unit level strategies. Corporate level strategies are of 4 types. These are stability strategies, strategies which aim at maintaining the existing state of affairs, that is, status quo, and sustainable growth strategies. Growth strategies aim at business growth, which can be both organic or inorganic growth strategies. Retrenchment strategies, such strategies which aim at divestments and liquidations, etc. Combination strategies, strategies which include all possible combinations. Business unit level strategies. From the corporate level strategies, organizations formulate their business unit level strategies. These can be low cost leadership strategy, focus or niche strategy, differentiation strategy, offensive strategy, defensive strategies. Next step is identify HRM strategies. Strategic human resource management defines how business goals can be achieved through people. After defining the corporate strategy, the next step is to define HR policy through which the goals of organization could be achieved. There are 4 HR strategies which an organization can pursue to enrich the employees' capabilities. First is learning as socialization. Under this strategy, employees are given training and coaching sessions are held so that they are made to learn the rules, values and beliefs of an organization and achieve the targets. Develop informal learning. Under this, employees are made aware of career development opportunities and efforts and are made to enhance their learning. Engineering. This strategy focuses on creating and developing communities of practice and social networks within and outside the organization. Empowered informal learning. Under this, a learning environment is created within an organization through development of such work systems and processes. New work areas are designed and provision of shared spaces is made so that learning environment is created through interactions. Implementing HR strategies. After the human resource strategy is developed, they are implemented. Successful implementation is as important as developing of strategies. Without successful implementation, entire exercise will get meaningless. For successful implementation, commitment of top level management is a prerequisite. Monitor and evaluation. The final step in strategic human resource management process is to compare the performance of the HR strategy against the pre-established standards. Strategies may sometimes not be implemented as planned due to changes in external factors. Therefore, evaluation and control is important, which includes the following steps. First is establish the standards, then measure the performance at each stage, then compare the standards with performances achieved and taking note of the deviations and taking corrective steps. Guidelines for formulating effective global human resource strategy. For effective global human resource program, the following things should be taken care of. First, no favoritism towards local nationals. For effective global HR program, no favoritism towards the parent country nationals should be followed. The firm must choose from the pool of global employees who possess the skills and the qualification to hold the particular situation. Favoritism policy can put companies at a clear disadvantage, and there are strong reasons to discard them. Second is to identify the strategic positions. Strategic positions which are essential for achieving the business objectives and pursuing the strategy around the world should be identified, and the positions that hold responsibility for performing them should be specified. The technical, functional requirements and skills needed to perform these positions should be defined. Such role descriptions should be revisited at least annually to ensure they express the business strategy, as the strategies keep on changing with the change in external factors. Third is build a global database to know who and where your talent is. A multinational company should maintain a global database of human resources which serve as a big help not only at the time when strategic posts have to be filled, but also for the development of their employees. Such database should not only be used for filling up the top positions, but also be used for middle level employees and in the country markets and potential stars coming through the ranks. Fourth, construct a mobility pyramid. A mobility pyramid should also be constructed by the company where the preferences of managers to move to new locations as well as their ability and experience are maintained as database. Mobility should not only be evaluated in terms of movable or not movable, rather preferences should be noted not only for the place but also for the kind of work for they would like to move. When the need arises as the project gets open, such database can be used by the company to quickly determine willingness and ability of employees to take the job. Also, such pyramid should be constantly kept updated as circumstances keep changing in managers' lives and company opportunities also change with time. This activity will encourage many more managers to opt for overseas assignments and open the thinking of line and HR managers to different ways to use available in-house talent. There have been nowadays an emerging field of managers called glopats, who are used as business builders and troubleshooters for short or medium length assignments in different markets. Identify the gap in skills. For better job performance, each executive should be asked to identify the gaps in his or her skills and characteristics with the ideal requirements for the executive's current post and preferred next post, and ask them to give suggestions on how these gaps can be converted. That is, through some kind of in-house training, mentoring, outside courses or any other means. These skills should be compared with those required by the business strategy. This information can provide a lot of fruitful inputs for management development and training programs and for preparing internal candidate for new job descriptions. Recruit regularly. For a good HR program, a company should recruit for the potential employees regularly. New recruits should be looked for in every important local market and headquarters regularly. Such a reputation should be developed among the best graduates as the best company to join. Also, letting the people know how far they can climb up the ladder, best recruits can be attracted. Advertise posts internally. The vacancies or the positions should be advertised internally by the company over the intranet. It not only solidifies company culture but also shows ambitious people they can make their future in the company. Such a policy gives employees responsibility to manage their own careers. Institute succession planning. Every manager in strategic job position should be required to nominate up to 3 candidates who could take over that position in near future. This policy can fruitfully help solving succession problems to a large extent. Challenge and retain your talent. For the company in such a dynamic, challenging environment, it is essential to retain the best talent as it is the most important resource and is really scarce. Monetary incentives are not sufficient to retain the good talent. Talented people like to accept challenges and want personal growth and job satisfaction. A policy should be adopted that invites employees to grow with the company. In every market, a policy should be adopted that invites employees to grow with the company in every market. Overseas assignments and cross-border task forces are excellent ways to challenge, develop and retain good managers. The 10-step global HR framework has the potential to affect every executive in every location, but it requires full commitment from the top management team. Conclusion: in today's era of cutthroat competition, HRM is important for every business. It is through managing people effectively that a business can gain competitive edge over others. The challenges of globalization can only be survived and won upon through human resources. International human resource management ensure that a multinational company has the right talent at right place and there is a proper cultural mix to manage effectively all of its operations over multiple nations. When the human resource management activities are integrated with the business strategy, it is called strategic human resource management. Strategic international human resource management is a strategic human resource management by a multi-domestic firm. Strategic international human resource management is essentially similar to domestic strategic human resource management. However, complexities of operating in various nations caused by culture and various other factors differentiate the two. The domestic functions cannot be transferred to the international arena as such. The key issue for multi-domestic organization is to effectively balance the need for the whole organization to be integrated and controlled as one, and at the same time allowing the subsidiaries the flexibility to adapt to the local environment. Thank you.